The Virgin Suicides is an interesting film about a conservative Catholic family made up of 5 girls and their parents. The girls are all very curious about a life outside of their house because this happens to be all they know. Their parents are almost too strict, causing them to do daring things. The story of the Lisbon girls is told from the point of view of the neighborhood boys that find the girls really intriguing. During the summer, the youngest Lisbon girl becomes depressed and decides to slit her wrists in the bathtub. The parents decide to let the girls have a closely chaperoned party with some of the neighborhood boys. The youngest sister excuses herself from the party and chooses to jump out the window of their second-story house and commit suicide. After this event, the parents watch the girls even closer. Later into the movie, the girls decide they want to go to the homecoming dance. After much consideration, the girls go with a group of guys, one of them named Trip Fontaine, who is interested in Lux, the second oldest. Many events happen after the prom, but the most jaw-dropping part of the movie happened at the very end. The neighborhood boys talk to the Lisbon girls about helping them escape house. The boys go over to the Lisbon house late one night to find Lux sitting on the couch smoking a cigarette. Lux makes the boys wait a little bit, saying that their parents weren't asleep yet. She told them that she was going to wait in the car, and the other girls were going to meet them there in a few minutes. After a while of waiting, the boys decide to go into the house. Sorry about the spoiler, but the boys are shocked by what they find. All 4 of the remaining girls committed suicide in several different ways. One of the ways includes putting her head inside a gas oven. This film was truly interesting. From the moment the opening credits came on screen to the end credits started rolling, I was drawn in. Sofia Coppola, the director, incorporated some specific elements into this movie to make it that much better. One of the scenes that really showed Coppola's filming style was the homecoming scene. The scene jumped from each girl, showing what they were doing. First it showed one of the girls dancing with the boy, then the scene jumped straight to Lux, making out with Trip underneath the bleachers. During the whole homecoming scene, there was a greenish tinted filter. This was made to make the scene seem drearier than the other scenes in the movie, almost like a dream. Coppola used a handheld camera to float around the characters. The next part of the scene jumps straight to someone announcing the homecoming king and queen. Lux and Trip hear their names get called, and right at that moment, a happy song starts playing. This scene is especially important in the movie because before this point, the girls were all sad. This was the first time in the movie that all the girls seemed happy with their lives. After they accept their crowns, the music gets more and more upbeat, and the girls start dancing again. There is a point where one of the girls even says, "I'm having the best time." I think this scene was to make the viewers seem like everything was going to be happy and fun from that moment on. Little do they know that it is the opposite way around. There are some creatively placed symbols in the movie that may explain some reasoning behind the end of the movie itself. One of the symbols in particular was shown when the girls were starting to send messages to the neighborhood boys. There was a scene where one of the boys was walking his bike and you can clearly see a card on the bike tire. The camera zooms in on the card, which has a picture of the Virgin Mary. In the Bible, Mary and her sisters, just like the Lisbon sisters, were going to be part of a tragic event. Also, when Cecilia tried to kill herself, she was holding a picture of the Virgin Mary in her hand. Throughout the movie, it shows scenes of trees dying and people attempting to cut them down. The girls tried to save the trees from getting cut down, but they always end up getting cut down anyways. I think this symbolizes the girls and their attempts at suicide. Before Cecilia's death, there was one tree that was going to be cut down. After her death, it showed a clip of 4 more trees with notes on them saying they were planning to cut those down as well. There were 4 trees left, and there were also 4 girls left. Coincidence? I don't think so. Sofia Coppola's use of music, filters, and hidden meanings and messages strategically placed into the film makes this movie one of a kind. Even knowing how the movie is going to end, it still is just as shocking and unsettling. Although it does have a dark meaning, this movie is still amazingly written, directed, and produced. The Lisbon sisters were in an attempt to save themselves, but in the end, their fate was inevitable.